After the attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, President Roosevelt ordered the military to devise a plan to attack the Japanese homeland. During the first months of World War II, the news from the Pacific was only of defeat after defeat. The morale of the American public and the military in the Pacific was at its lowest point. News of the fall of Bataan and the surrender of thousands of American troops dominated the news. A plan was devised to launch Army B-25 bombers from an aircraft carrier and attack Tokyo and 4 other Japanese industrial centers. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Doolittle was tasked with planning the raid. Without knowing their target or destination, 17th Bomb Group volunteered for this top-secret mission and began training at Eglin Field in Florida. 16 B-25s, 80 men, 1 mission, payback for Pearl Harbor. Look to your right now as we simulate that 30 seconds over Tokyo as the B-25s approached low to avoid being seen at the last moment. Just before arriving at Tokyo, they would pop up, open their bomb bay, and then at 1,500 feet unload the bombs on Tokyo. Ladies and gentlemen, the Doolittle Raiders in 30 seconds over Tokyo. Suddenly, the headlines across America boldly celebrated, American bombers hit Tokyo. Imagine the boost of the morale of the American public and the military. Just heard the sound of 3,400 horsepower, the sounds of freedom. As Panchito now makes its return to Show Center, the crew is going to show you the business side of the Mitchell bomber. If you have a camera, zoom in on the open bomb bay and see the full load of 500-pound demolition bombs. Incidentally, these bombs are signed by dozens of B-25 combat veterans that they've met over the past 18 years as they have traveled around the country. 18 of the Doolittle Raiders have signed one of the bombs, and 3 of the original Raiders have flown in Panchito. B-25 was used for low-level dive bombing, especially against Japanese naval targets. Now watch Panchito as it comes in from the right now to simulate a dive bombing attack on a Japanese warship. The attacking B-25 would strafe the ship as it approached, then drop a 500 or 1,000-pound bomb on the ship as it passed. Like I said, you can experience a ride on Panchito today and tomorrow by calling 443-458-8926 or visiting their booth down by the C-130. Scraping around and then the bomb. Once again, that number 443-458-8926 or at their booth down by the C-130. Now watch as Panchito's crew sets up for a low-level bombing run. Watch the bomb bay doors open as she nears Show Center. The original design of the B-25 was for medium altitude level bombing, but as we will describe on the next pass, the crews out on the field modified the aircraft and then made it a whole lot more of a potent weapon. Here is the low-level bombing run. Bomb bay doors open. The original design mission of the median bomber was mainly for level bombing with machine guns installed only to defend the airplane. Up to 14 forward-firing fixed machine guns for strafing ground and sea targets were field modifications that made the B-25 a very effective weapon at attacking airfields, ships, trains, and convoys. The model carried a 75-millimeter cannon in the nose. Basically, it was a Sherman tank gun. And imagine, if you would, from the right, 4 of these B-25s approaching a Japanese airfield at treetop height, 335 miles an hour, 56 caliber machine guns blazing, as well as parafrag bombs raining down from the bomb bay as the formation passed over the field. The original Panchito was named after the feisty Mexican rooster in Disney's 1944 animated musical, The Three Caballeros. Panchito served as a bomber with the 396 Bomb Squadron, 41st Bomb Group of the 7th Air Force, stationed in Okinawa. Panchito was built at the North American Aviation Factory in Kansas City in the fall of 1944. She has 2 Curtiss-Wright 14-cylinder engines, developing 1,700 horsepower each. Approximately 30 of these aircraft have survived, but only about 25 of them regularly fly. This particular airplane, Panchito, has 13 50 caliber machine guns and 3,000 pounds of bombs, depth charges, incendiary bombs, parafrag bomb, or even a torpedo. 8-inch, or rather 5-inch HVAR rockets can be mounted to hard points under each of the wings. 8-year restoration of Panchito was done by Tom Riley, finished back in 1986. Signature photo pass, ladies and gentlemen, as Panchito, near Show Center. Show you a beautiful profile of the North American B-25 Mitchell bomber. Once again, like I said, you can experience the thrill of a flight experience on Panchito this weekend only. You can call 443-458-8926, or you can visit them at their tent down by the C-130. They're in a blue and white tent. A blue and white tent. Larry Kelley from Mardella Springs, Maryland, is flying the aircraft today. I believe Calvin Peacock from Salisbury, Maryland, is also on board. Orange County Executive Stephen M. Newhouse would like to thank the airport here, owned by the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, for hosting our air show. The county executive worked closely with, among others, Stewart Airport General Manager Ed Harrison to bring the show to Orange County. Newhouse would also like to thank New York Airshow President Brian Lilly and the volunteers from across Orange County who helped make this event wonderful. Here's our B-25 Mitchell bomber as she touches down, flown by Larry Kelley. Budweiser and Dana Distributing Company, proud sponsors of our show. And Handsome Devil Barbecue wants to thank everyone for coming out to our air show. Handsome Devil Barbecue, proudly serving the Hudson Valley, the area's only 5-time state championship award winner and Food Network feature barbecue vendor. Let Handsome Devil cater your next event. ShopRite, another one of our great sponsors here for the air show, as well as Suburban Propane.